Hi and welcome to the Unquendor Guitars workshop. My name is Daniel and this is going to be a bit of a different video than you're used to seeing on my channel, but I've got some things to talk to you about, so here we go. So this is going to be a more talkative video because I haven't spent a lot of time in the workshop lately after completing the Sonia guitar, and that all has to do with Unquendor guitar had to become legitimate and real business instead of a hobby. Here in the Netherlands there are all kinds of regulations for what's considered as a hobby and what's considered as a business, and the authorities and the taxing agency considered Unquendor guitar no longer to be a hobby. So I had to set up a business, and that took a lot of time. I had to, of course, register at the Chamber of Commerce. I had to get in contact with a bookkeeper and set up my bookkeeping, because it's mandatory that I now keep real bookkeeping. I had all kinds of legal stuff to be sorted out, so it took a whole lot of time to get things sorted out, but I'm almost there and I'm ready to start building guitars again. So that might impact this YouTube channel a little. For example, I'm going to build two guitars at once. I'm going to build the Sonia guitar, or two Sonia guitars at once, just to get me some stock for my company to sell some guitars. So I need some stock, of course, and I wanted to see if it's quicker to build two guitars at once instead of just one at a time. But seeing me build two guitars at once, the same model and exactly the same guitar as I did in the previous series, I don't think that makes very interesting content. So I'm thinking about coming up with a way to show you more in-depth tutorials on specific topics, and maybe start even at the beginning of designing a guitar, purchasing parts, and if it's worth building your own guitar instead of buying one in a shop, for example, and then cost-wise. So I'm really trying to come up with a specific format for the coming videos. So if you have any ideas, any suggestions, let me know in the comment section down below. So, and then there's of course the Great Guitar Build-Off 2021, and a lot of you guys suggested in the comment section on several videos that I should enter, and I'm still contemplating if I should. I'm not sure yet, because I don't know if I can fit it into my schedule at the moment. I know it's going to start the 1st of February, then you can register, and then you have until July, I believe, to complete the guitar. But the downside is you can make only 6 videos, 6 15-minute videos on the entire guitar build. So I'm not sure if I can put it into my schedule. It also depends on these two guitars and of course the other tutorials I'm working on. So I'm thinking about it. I think I will. I got an idea of what I would do if I should enter the Great Guitar Build of 2021, but I'm not quite sure if I can fit it into a timeline, and not all the specific rules are set yet, so I have to check the rules. I hope they will put on all the rules and such on the Great Guitar Build-Off website over the next couple of weeks, and then I can decide if I can enter or not. But my standing this time is that I will enter the Great Guitar Build-Off. So I can't do a video without giving any tips or tricks. So my tip for this week's video is, when you are about to start a new guitar build, and in my case I'm going to start two at once, the first thing I do is make sure my workshop is ready. So this morning I did some maintenance on my equipment. So I set up my bandsaw, repolished the table of my bandsaw, spindle sanders, routed table, and now it's time to start maintaining and do some maintenance on all my hand tools. And I always start any build with making sure all my planes and all my chisels and all my cutting tools are sharpened. So I've got my set of DMT diamond sharpening stones right here, And first thing I'm going to do is sharpen all the blades essentially, so I know they're ready to go as soon as I need them when I start working on the two guitars. So I'm not going to do a sharpening tutorial because I'm not a sharpening expert, and there are plenty of very good sharpening tutorials out there on YouTube. For example, Paul Sellers has a great tutorial, several tutorials on how to sharpen your chisels and your plane blades. So I'm not going to do that. I'm just going to talk about my process a little. I've got a nice set of these DMT diamond sharpening stones, and before any build I'm always going to resharpen and touch up all my plane blades and my chisels. And what I'm doing, I'm going to assess how sharp they are, and they're fairly dull, and then I'm going to use my coarse sharpening stone, do all my chisels on coarse, go to a fine one, and then finish them off with an extra fine diamond stone before I polish them using a piece of MDF with some polishing compound, and then they're usually ready to go. And that way I know when I'm building a guitar that whichever plane or chisel I'm taking from my tool rack, that it's nice and sharp and ready to go. So yeah, here we go. Yeah, I think it's quite relaxing and enjoyable to be working on your tools and a job like sharpening all your tools before you start building a guitar. It just creates a peace of mind or something like that. And yeah, I have to say, I'm not a sharpening purist or anything like that. For example, I'm using DMT diamond stones because they're convenient to me. I prefer them over water stones or oil stones because I don't have to worry about flattening them. As soon as I take them out of their box, they're ready to go and I can start sharpening my tools. And yeah, by using the method I use, and with these diamond sharpening stones, I get the result I need. My tools are sharp enough for what I do with them, and yeah, it's just convenient to me. And now I'm just using a coarse stone just to create a nice new edge, and then I'm going over to my fine and ultra fine stones and lapping them off on a piece of MDF with some polishing compound, and that's more than enough. And as soon as I'm done, I can shave my arms with it, so that's plenty sharp enough for me. So yeah, I think it's a really nice job to be doing before getting into the hectics and the stressful moments of building a guitar. Just to spend a day here in my workshop, put on some music, and just maintain all my tools, sharpening the blades, polish whatever needs polishing, sharpen the pencils, etc. It's just a nice day in the workshop, getting everything sorted out before starting a guitar build. So the nice thing is you can just swap out your stones. That's my coarse one. This is this was extra coarse. I'm going to switch over to coarse. Wipe clean. Just a bit of water. And here we go. Just a couple of passes. Yeah, and there's a nice little burr forming at the edge of the tool. So now I'm going to use my diamond stone, my coarse one, to remove all the scratches from the extra coarse one, and doing the same thing with the fine and ultra fine. And for those who are wondering, I'm using the Lee Nielsen honing guide just to keep my blade at the correct angle at my diamond stone. And yeah, questions about what angle do you use, and should it be 30 or 25 degrees? I don't know, to be honest. Somewhere in between 25 and 30. Like I said, I'm not a sharpening purist, and I get them to a point that works for me and my planes and my setup, etc. I'm not that concerned, to be honest. Might be a bit controversial, but yeah, I don't care as much about my blade should be exactly 27.5 degrees, because that cuts like this or like that. And as long as I get my blanks to be square and to the correct thickness, I'm happy. And yeah, I haven't experienced any issues with the methods I'm using thus far. Maybe this will change in the future, who knows. But when it comes to sharpening, I just get a nice bevel, a nice edge on my blades. That works for me, and yeah, then I'm happy with it. This blade, I consider it sharp. So yeah, my number 7 plane, and it's the plane I most frequently use. I always like to use this plane, very good plane, is ready to go. And yeah, there was some rust on the sole of this plane, and I removed it using a leveling beam with 320 grit sandpaper and polished it up with just a sanding block and some 400 grit sandpaper, so it's nice and ready to go. And of course I applied some wax to the soles. Now it's nice and smooth and shouldn't rust as easy anymore. It's a bit humid at the moment here in the workshop, and that's because it's winter and I'm using a gas burning stove, and that creates a lot of moisture in the air. So I think I also need to move my neck blanks out of here, and now that I think of it. So yeah, tool maintenance, very important. Like I said, I always like to do it before I start working on a build, and yeah, I'm going to continue this today. So yeah, this is somewhat the end of this video. So like I said, I'm working on a more in-depth tutorial style videos, and I'm really thinking about what to do here on YouTube while I'm building these two Sonia guitars, and while I'm preparing for the Great Guitar build-off perhaps. So if you have any suggestions, please let me know in the comment section down below. If you have any questions, any topics you want me to address in a future video, yeah, let me know in the comment section down below. And like I said, I really have to think about how I can balance working on production guitars, YouTube, running a business, and my day-to-day job as well. So, and yeah, maybe if I have some spare time, even spend some time with my wife now and then. So yeah, that's it for this video. Yeah, if you liked it, please leave a like. Like I said, comments are very welcome in the comment section down below. And I hope to see you all in the next video. But until then, have a nice week.